When CNN launched its ambitious Unity project, aimed at bringing together two Hollywood icons with opposing political views for a candid conversation, the expectation was that it would be a groundbreaking moment. The idea was simple, yet profound. Sylvester Stallone, the beloved actor known for his roles in Rocky and Rambo, and George Clooney, a respected Hollywood figure with a history of outspoken liberal politics, would come together to talk through their differences. The timing was also perfect. CNN hoped to showcase an example of collaboration and mutual respect, offering a rare moment of unity during a season when audiences are generally more open to messages of peace and togetherness. However, what should have been a touching and unifying special quickly escalated into a dramatic feud. Stallone, ever the larger-than-life figure, accepted the invitation without hesitation. He saw the event as an opportunity to promote the idea that people with differing opinions could still work together and coexist, and it aligned with his public persona of resilience and strength. Clooney, on the other hand, didn't share this view. Instead of welcoming the opportunity for a meaningful conversation, he flatly rejected it. Clooney's refusal went beyond simply turning down the offer. In private discussions with CNN producers, Clooney reportedly expressed strong disapproval of Stallone's political stance, accusing him of being a political opportunist and supporting outdated, offensive views. Clooney's decision not only highlighted their political differences, but also hinted at a deeper personal tension. For Clooney, sharing the stage with Stallone could damage his carefully curated public image. He feared that aligning with someone who held contrary political views might make him seem complicit or sympathetic to those beliefs, a dangerous risk in an industry as image-conscious as Hollywood. Clooney didn't hold back in his criticisms. Behind closed doors, he accused Stallone of using his political opinions to remain relevant, further alleging that Stallone's views were damaging and retrogressive. Clooney's accusations weren't just about a difference of opinion. They seemed more rooted in a personal discomfort with Stallone's approach to politics and public discourse. For Clooney, the idea of appearing alongside Stallone, who had garnered significant public attention for voicing controversial opinions on various issues, was a bridge too far. Stallone, in stark contrast, chose to take the high road. Instead of responding to Clooney's criticism with anger or defensiveness, Stallone remained calm and focused on his career. He continued to promote his various projects and distanced himself from the drama, embodying his public persona as someone who believed in the power of unity, even when ideological differences existed. For Stallone, this situation wasn't about scoring political points or winning a debate. It was about showing that people with different views could still find common ground and communicate respectfully. CNN, meanwhile, found itself caught in the middle of the drama. The network had hoped for a feel-good moment that could provide a much-needed respite from the political divisions that had dominated the year. Instead, it was left with a scandal. Clooney's refusal was a clear statement that not all stars were willing to participate in what was framed as an opportunity for civil dialogue. It was a striking example of just how deep the political divides run within Hollywood. The entire event had been designed as a way to show that even Hollywood icons from opposite ends of the political spectrum could work together. However, when Clooney rejected the idea, CNN had no choice but to scramble for alternatives. In an effort to salvage the special, the network reached out to other prominent figures who could potentially replace Clooney. Names like Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington were floated as possible substitutes. However, finding someone who could rival Stallone in terms of cultural significance and who also had contrasting political views was no easy task. Ultimately, CNN chose to reframe the entire project, focusing instead on Stallone's career and charitable efforts. While this pivot salvaged the project to some extent, it was clear that the Unity special had failed to live up to its original promise. The tension between Stallone and Clooney seemed to reflect something more than just a disagreement about politics. Clooney, in particular, appeared to be grappling with his own professional setbacks. Over the past few years, several high-profile projects that Clooney had been involved with, including the much-anticipated Ocean's 14, had fallen apart. The industry had begun to shift, and Clooney's outspoken liberal politics seemed to be alienating some of his audience. Stallone, on the other hand, had managed to remain a steadfast figure in Hollywood, despite political changes and controversies. It's possible that Clooney's refusal to engage with Stallone wasn't just about politics, but also about professional jealousy. While Clooney had faced a string of disappointments in recent years, Stallone's career seemed to be thriving. He had managed to stay relevant, both through his ongoing success in film and by engaging with alternative media outlets. The contrast between the two actors was stark, and it seemed to be more than just a political divide. For Clooney, Stallone's career resilience might have felt like a challenge to his own fading star power. The accusation that Stallone was an opportunist seemed to reflect Clooney's own frustrations about Hollywood's changing dynamics. In recent years, Clooney had been increasingly vocal about political causes, building a reputation as a champion for progressive causes. This had earned him both admiration and criticism, but it had also created a divide between him and those in Hollywood who held opposing views. Meanwhile, Stallone had been less concerned with aligning himself with any particular ideology and had instead focused on creating films that appealed to a broad audience. Stallone's response to the entire situation was emblematic of his personality. Rather than letting the controversy get under his skin, he continued to appear on platforms with a variety of hosts and audiences, including shows with political hosts who didn't share his views. His appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast, for example, allowed him to discuss everything from Hollywood politics to his career philosophy. He expressed his belief that Hollywood had become increasingly disconnected from the audience it once served, criticizing the culture of ideological division that had permeated the industry. Stallone's critique wasn't just a reaction to Clooney's refusal. It was part of a larger commentary on the state of Hollywood itself. He expressed concern that the industry had become too focused on ideological messaging, leaving little room for genuine storytelling. Hollywood had increasingly become a bubble, out of touch with the real-world concerns of its audience. This focus on political correctness and ideological purity, according to Stallone, was leading the industry down a dangerous path. If Hollywood continued to alienate half of its audience, he warned, the industry would face long-term consequences. The controversy between Stallone and Clooney wasn't just a personal feud, it was a reflection of the larger issues that Hollywood is currently facing. The rise of ideological storytelling, combined with an emphasis on political correctness, has led to a backlash from audiences who feel that entertainment has become more about delivering a message than telling a compelling story. This shift, according to Stallone, is alienating viewers and, in the long run, could lead to a decline in Hollywood's cultural relevance. Stallone's hope for a course correction in Hollywood is rooted in a belief that storytelling should focus on universal themes that can resonate with a broad audience. In his view, the industry needs to pivot away from its current focus on ideology and return to creating stories that connect with people, regardless of their political affiliation. If Hollywood can manage to do that, he believes, it will be able to regain the trust of its audience and continue to thrive. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.